Kazakhstan is one of the significant players of the world economy and one of the 50 largest exporting countries today. There are 100 world states in our sales geography. There are 820 titles of domestic goods in the range of supplies. The principal share of Kazakhstani exports comes from raw materials, oil, uranium, and wheat. But recently, this tendency is changing. The first processing enterprises are opening and already coming out to global markets with prepared products. You will learn in the 4 Export program about where and how the production branded Made in Kazakhstan is produced. Today in the program, exporting power of megapolis, Almaty cars on CIS roads, just what the doctor ordered, Kazakhstani pills on the Eurasian market. Almaty is the largest megapolis of Kazakhstan with a population of 2 million people. Tax revenues of this city form almost a third of the Republican budget. Besides, it's a large transport, tourist, and cultural center. But in addition to its attractions, Almaty plays an important role in the structure of Kazakhstani exports, along with large industrial regions. By the results of 2016, exports of Kazakhstan amounted to $37 billion. Leaders of all exports are West Kazakhstan, Atrau, and Mangistau regions. As for non-primary exports, the production volume for 2016 was $12.9 billion. The leaders of export of non-primary materials were the Karaganda region, East Kazakhstan, and the city of Almaty. These 3 regions together provide 50% of goods abroad. Urban residents always actively use transport. Almaty is not an exception. That's why there is traditionally the biggest demand in passenger cars and lorries. After all, a lot of enterprises that are concentrated in the city and its surroundings supply tons and liters of their production to store shelves every day. Hyundai assembly plant helps to provide every customer with a product and the manufacturer with a transport. Auto assembly plant Hyundai Trans Auto. Assembly of trucks. Production volume 1,000 units per year. Share of exports 50%. Geography of sales: Russia, Belarus, Kyrgyzstan. Astana Motors Company is a major distributor of passenger cars and lorry trucks, represents a third of the country's automobile market, and supplies Kazakhstan citizens with iron horses of leading brands. But buying and selling cars is not enough already. Moreover, mechanical engineering is one of the priority branches of Kazakhstan. That is why in 2011, Astana Motors have launched an auto assembly plant. Hyundai Trans Auto, which is part of the Astana Motors, produces the whole line of Hyundai commercial vehicles and buses, and certain models of MAZ lorries. These cars are in demand in urban conditions and small and medium businesses, as well as large enterprises. All commercial equipment manufactured by us meets all ecological norms and standards of Euro 4. During 2017, almost 500 units of equipment were assembled. It is not a small amount if you take into account almost manual assembly. Everything from the body and to onboard computers is collected by the hands of 50 workshop employees. Our assembly line employs about 50 people. We can assemble 10 units of compact cars per day. If we speak about 25-ton cars, one car is assembled in 3 days.
В этом цехе мы делаем надстройки на шасси, то бишь фургоны, бортовые платформы.
In this workshop, we make superstructures on chassis, that is, vans, onboard platforms. Also, we weld bodies for buses. There are 3 welding posts, 4 to 8 people work in each post. Also, we have metal processing zone. Machines are established. For platforms and vans, we prepare the iron ourselves.
То бишь готовим железо сами здесь под платформы, под фургоны.
By the way, here domestic metal is used. Kazakhstani resources allow to localize production as much as possible. This metal is of Kazakhstani production from central Kazakhstan. We buy metals and basic materials from local suppliers. We contribute to the development of all the automobile industry. Because manufacturing of cars has multiplicative effect. One job creates up to 5 jobs in related enterprises. Thanks to this, the percent of localization, that is, use of local raw materials and parts, managed to be increased tenfold for the period of plant operation. Increasing of localization is the state's and our task. If we started from small localization, now we're striving for 50%. We even exceed certain positions. Some components we produce ourselves. We buy some from suppliers in Kazakhstan and some from Russian suppliers. Another contribution is made by the Hyundai Corporation as well. Separate types of components can be brought only from South Korea. Representatives of the global brand come to the plant every year and audit all processes. Besides, the production is constantly overseen by certification companies. That is why the quality of assembled cars is checked at several levels.
На каждом посту, по каждой модели у нас имеется, список.
Each post on each model has a list of requirements on moments of tighten-bolted connections. Also, all posts are equipped with dynamometric keys. We check each screw in the car. That is, it is stretched out with the key.
Каждый болт в данной машине, в той или иной машине, каждый болт мы протягиваем именно этим ключом, то есть проверяем.
Besides trucks, the plant assembles buses with modifications in appearance and characteristics. That is, they don't just produce buses on familiar technology, but adapted for the consumer needs. Assembled cars enter the markets of CIS countries and, of course, are driven on roads of Kazakhstan. With the increase of production volumes, they plan to expand export markets. Quality and price allow machines to compete with a lot of similar manufacturers. We are working on exports development for the last 3 years. In 2015, we have started from a small number of units. Meanwhile, this year we deliver more than 200 units to foreign markets. Our exporting markets are the countries of the CIS region: Russian Federation, the Republic of Belarus, and Kyrgyzstan. We're negotiating on sales to Central Asia and maybe to other states. In order for the company offer to look even more interesting on the market, they have to enlarge the line of the brand, produce new models of automobiles. In 2007, we presented 2 new models in low-tonnage segment of the Hyundai brand, H350 and G35. We began a full assembly of the line, and all our clients can learn about and buy these cars. They are perfect for the delivery of cargo around the city and urban distribution. The segment grows very quickly, and we would like to be presented there. Large unit assembly is no longer uncommon for Kazakhstan. Many companies switch to small-scale assembly and produce a large amount of components in their plants. Hyundai Trans Auto has already mastered the full circle of mass vehicles assembly. The enterprise strives to localize production as much as possible. It will positively affect the prices of production on global market and the development of adjacent manufacturers of Kazakhstan. Another Almaty enterprise is a leading pharmaceutical factory which is also delivering its products to countries of the CIS region. Noble Almaty Pharmaceutical Plant JSC, manufacturer of medicine, production volume 530 million products per year, share of exports 10%, geography of sales Russia, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Mongolia. From 1968, pharmaceutical plant started working on the territory of the current Noble plant. Complete modernization took place in 2003, and exploration of new products has launched since. At the moment, the Nobel company issues more than 80 names, 200 dosage forms in various therapeutical groups, antimicrobial agents, painkillers, antihistamines, psychoneurological and oncology treatments. 530 million products per year roll off the assembly lines. 350 million medicines are issued as pills, 150 million as capsules. Moreover, 20 million syrup and suspension bottles and 10 million tubes of moisturizers and ointments are delivered to pharmacies of Kazakhstan and neighboring countries. About 10% of all production is exported to foreign markets. Large quantity of medicinal products is sent to the market of Kazakhstan and exported to Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Mongolia, and Russia. Manufacture of medicaments is a difficult and painstaking process. Big importance is paid to quality control. The plant has a functional division whose employees select samples for testing on all stages of production. The quality control, after all, is without any exaggeration a half of pharmaceutical production. Functions of quality control department are physical, chemical, and microbiological testing of raw material, packaged production, and finished goods. Also, the division has to conduct testing in the process of producing intermediate, not packaged goods. Also, there's examination on stability in different conditions.
Также отделом контроля качества проводится изучение стабильности в различных условиях.
All company laboratories have international accreditation, which is important not only for exports but also for realization of goods. Because international scientific developments and methods of reviewing are not static, production laboratories also have to meet updated requirements. Accreditation of labs gives us an opportunity to acknowledge our results on the territory of Kazakhstan and in other countries, where the seal ILAC is used. For example, we are exporting goods to Russia, Uzbekistan, and Kyrgyzstan, where the ILAC standard operates, and our report of examination is also acknowledged in those countries. Control starts on the stage of buying commodities. It is purchased from leading suppliers of active substance for production from India, China, Italy, and Germany. Only after thorough review and analysis of raw materials goes to the first stage of mixing components. Production ready for forming is also sent to the laboratory, and only after that, pills, capsules, or suspension takes shape. This equipment allows to test pills for firmness. This is a very important indication. Each medicine has to meet requirements specified in normative documents. That is why we take 10 pills from each batch and check for firmness. Such frequent monitoring allows deducing average of hardness of pills. Considering that the new forming plant, pill press, can produce up to 150,000 pills per hour, firmness testing is conducted as frequently as well as other checks. After primary packaging, the pills are tested once again, and then come the time of the last, secondary packaging. After that, other physical and chemical tests are conducted. Also, certification is conducted by independent laboratories, and we receive certificates of conformity. Only after that, our production goes to the consumer. But this is not the entire list of laboratory procedures. Constant monitoring of water used in production, air in workshops, and employees' uniforms is carried out along with checking of raw materials, package, and medicines, because health of consumers is the main criteria of the plant's work. Company already exports about 10% of its products to markets of CIS countries and aims at increasing this share up to 30% by increasing output and expanding client base in those exporting states. Scientific developments and research allow constant extension of manufacture. New types of medicine products emerge every year. Recipes of old ones are improving and updating. Unfortunately, in spite of rapid development of herbal medicine, there are some diseases with which herbs are unable to cope. In these circumstances, traditional pills and capsules come to help. As can be seen, the company acts in a responsible manner regarding their terms of production.